Good morning guys, I hope we are well. In today's lesson we're going to be solving equations with brackets and unknowns on both sides. So I'm going to begin with 4 examples. I'm going to try the top 2 examples first and then we're going to try the bottom 2 examples. Do this however you want to do it. So if you want to pause the video because you're feeling confident and you just want to try it for yourself, absolutely go for it. If you're not feeling confident and if you'd feel more comfortable just letting the video run and listening to my explanations and studying how I've done it, that's also fine. So do what works for you. So let's start off with the first 2 examples. So 2 lots of x plus 1 equals x plus 5. So we haven't seen equations yet where there's brackets and x's on both sides. So let me talk you through it. Whenever you see a bracket in an equation, a good idea is to expand those brackets. So remember how to expand a set of brackets. So I'll do 2 lots of x and 2 lots of 1. So 2 lots of x gives me 2x and 2 lots of 1 gives me positive 2. Okay, so now we have an equation that looks pretty similar to the equations we were solving last lesson. Remember, if we're solving an equation, we just want x on one side. We don't want x's on both sides. So we need to choose one of these groups of x and we're going to eliminate it. So I'm going to get rid of this one. So there is one x on this side, so let's subtract an x from both sides. Remember, I have to keep it balanced. So my left hand side would become, well, there was 2x and I took off an x, so there would only be 1x on the left hand side. And there was an x on my right hand side, but because I took away an x, all I have on the right hand side is just that 5. So just study that step. Do you understand why I have done that? So I've taken away an x on both sides because now that's going to make the equation a lot simpler. It's just some number plus 2 makes 5. Well, what number of 2 makes 5? That number must be 3. I know that because when I subtract 2 from both sides using my balancing method, x has to be 3. This is my solution. Okay, so let's try my next one. So I've got 3 lots of x plus 1 equals x plus 5. So again, look at how similar this question is to the last one. It's pretty much the same, apart from instead of a 2 outside my brackets, I've got a 3 outside my brackets. If you would like to pause it and try it for yourself, that's fine. Equally, just leave the video running if you just want to listen to me explain it. So first of all, I'm going to expand the brackets. So 3 lots of x gives me 3x, and 3 lots of 1 gives me 3. So I've got 3x plus 3 on the left hand side. Okay, so just like what I've done in the last question, I only want x on one side of the equation. At the moment, there are x's on both sides of my equation, so I need to eliminate one of those groups of x. I'm going to eliminate this one. So to get rid of this 1x, I need to subtract 1x from both sides. So my left hand side, well, there used to be 3x, but because I took away an x, I've now got 2x. There used to be an x on my right hand side, but because I took away an x, I'm just left with that 5. Okay, looking a lot nicer, but I'm not there yet. I just want x on its own, so that positive 3 has no reason to be there. What's the opposite of adding 3? We're going to subtract 3 from both sides. So that tells you that 2x equals 2. Well, 2 lots of something makes 2. That something has to be 1, because 2 lots of 1 makes 2. And I know that. Balancing both sides, I've divided by 2. Okay, next pair of examples. So now there are brackets on both sides of my equation. So this looks super complicated, but it's not too different to what we just done. Like I said before, if you see some brackets, just expand them. So here we just need to expand both sets of brackets. So now there are x's on both sides of my equation, but I don't want that. I just want x's on one side of my equation. So I need to choose one of these groups of x's to eliminate. Let's get rid of this 2x. If I get rid of this 2x, there will only be x's on one side of my equation. So what's the opposite of a positive 2x? I'm going to take away 2x from both sides. If there used to be a 2x here, but I took it away, my left hand side is just going to be 2. If there used to be 3x's on the right hand side of my equation, and I took away 2 of those x's, I'm just left with 1 of those x's. Okay, so some number, add 15, equals 2. And that number's going to have to be a negative number, isn't it? Use balancing. How do I get rid of this positive 15? I just want x on its own, but that positive 15 is in the way. Well, To get rid of a positive 15, I need to subtract 15 from both sides. So 2 take away 15 gives me minus 13. This is my solution. Okay, next question. Let's expand the brackets. So minus 2 times by x gives me minus 2x, minus 2 times by positive 1 gives me negative 2, and so on. Remember, a negative number times by a positive number gives me a negative number. Okay, at this stage, there are x's on both sides of my equation. I don't want that. All I want is x's on one side of my equation. So let's choose a group of x's to eliminate. Let's eliminate this negative 2x. Let's get rid of this. What's the opposite of minus 2x? What's the inverse operation? The opposite of minus 2x is adding 2x. I'm going to do that to both sides to keep it balanced. So, because I've gotten rid of this negative 2x by adding 2x, because minus 2x add 2x makes 0, my left-hand side is just going to be that negative 2. Because there used to be minus 3x's on my right-hand side, but I've added 2x's to it, minus 3x plus 2x gives me minus 1x. Okay, so think about where I'm trying to get to. I just want x on its own. Okay, so that negative 15 has no reason to be there. All I'm interested in is x. The opposite of minusing 15 is adding 15. So I'm going to apply that operation to both sides. Minus 2, add 15, so it gives me positive 13. So, I just want x on its own, but now I have minus x. Remember, in front of that x is really a 1, isn't there? So it's minus 1, lots of x. It's minus 1 times by x equals 13. To get rid of that multiplied by negative 1, to get rid of that times by negative 1, I need to divide by negative 1. Dividing both sides by negative 1 tells me that x must be negative 13. Okay, for our classwork today, I'm going to give you a choice because I think some of us are going to be confident with this skill and some of us just might find this a bit too difficult at this stage in our learning. So, if you are confident with that skill, so if those examples made sense to you, you feel confident to try some of those, to try some more similar problems, you're going to try option 1 on your worksheet, which are these problems here. If what I just explained, if you know that's too difficult for you, if you're feeling a bit stressed out by that, please don't panic. You're going to try option 2 instead. So if you'd like to practice the previous skills from the last few lessons instead, so if you're not quite ready for option 1, you go on to option 2 and practice that instead. So you only need to do one of these tasks, you don't need to do all of it, and then just please let me know if you need any help. Okay, thank you very much guys.